Samsung has exploded higher plus 8.22% to $309,500, a historic single-session move that demands your attention. In this video we break down what is driving this and what it means. Welcome to MTRS_Market Pulse. It is Sunday, July 5th, and this is your complete global market briefing. The bulls are firmly in the driving seat today across most major markets. Let us start with a quick look at how the major global markets are positioned today. Starting with the major global indices. S&P 500 is little changed, hovering near $7,483.24. Equity markets are responding to reports that European stocks rally to cap best week since May, markets wrap. NASDAQ 100 dropped sharply -1.61% to $29,329. Equity markets are responding to reports that TSMC versus Nvidia, which RE semiconductor stock should you buy in July? Trading View. Dow Jones edged higher plus 1.14% to $52,900. Equity markets are responding to reports that Dow sets high while NASDAQ breadflags, with Fed and earnings ahead tech stock squared. DAX is trading higher by plus 0.78%, at $25,779. Traders are reacting to news that S&P 500, NASDAQ register best quarter since 2020 despite Iran war. FTSE 100 ticked up plus 0.25% to $10,679. Equity markets are responding to reports that Dow sets high while NASDAQ breadflags, with Fed and earnings ahead tech stock squared. Now let us turn to some of the biggest names in global equities. Samsung surged plus 8.22% to $309,500 in a significant session. Investor sentiment is being shaped by Samsung profit surges over eightfold to beat estimates as RE boom fuels memory chip crunch. The HBM supply competition with SK Hynix is the defining story. Samsung needs to close the yield gap to win hyperscaler HBM contracts. Consumer DRAM pricing is recovering as inventory normalizes. Watch for any Nvidia or Google qualification update on Samsung HBM. Northrop Grumman made a dramatic move today, surged plus 5.59% to $549.01. Investor sentiment is being shaped by Northrop Grumman, NOC, has a long-cycle deterrence and mission systems engine bigger than a budget debate. Alpha Street. Government IT and classified programs provide stable base earnings that are often underappreciated. The next intercontinental ballistic missile contract is a potential large upside catalyst. Watch for any DoD budget line item commentary on space programs. Meta plunged -4.90% to $582.90 in a significant session. Equity markets are responding to reports that Meta is about to make its next billion-dollar bet. Wall Street thinks it could be huge. 24/7 Wall St. WhatsApp monetization is the next major revenue unlock, still largely untapped outside of India's business messaging push. AI infrastructure spending is heavy, but the ROI is visible in ad performance metrics. Any positive user growth data from emerging markets would be a catalyst. Apple made a dramatic move today, surged plus 4.84% to $308.63. Equity markets are responding to reports that Apple's stock gains as company XX cite iPhone, Mac demand in boosting guidance. Apple Intelligence adoption rate across the iPhone 16 base is the variable that will determine whether this cycle outperforms the last. Services revenue, now running at over $100 billion annualized, compounds regardless of hardware timing. The India manufacturing expansion de-risks the China tariff story meaningfully. Watch for any product announcement that could re-accelerate upgrades. Now let us dig into the macro picture driving these moves. Geopolitical risks remain elevated. Traders are reacting to news that S&P 500, NASDAQ register best quarter since 2020 despite Iran war. This is keeping traders cautious and supporting flows into defensive assets. The key macro overlay remains monetary policy. Equity markets are responding to reports that Dow sets high while NASDAQ breadflags, with Fed and earnings ahead tech stock squared. Any surprise in the rate path could trigger outsized moves. Rate expectations remain a key driver for growth and technology stocks, which are highly sensitive to discount rate assumptions. Equity markets are responding to reports that Dow sets high while NASDAQ breadflags, with Fed and earnings ahead. Tech stock squared. Turning to commodities. Brent crude ticked up to $72.13 per barrel, up 0.46% on the session. Traders are reacting to news that oil prices fall after Trump says US-Iran talks in Qatar are going well. WTI crude ticked up to $68.78 per barrel, up 0.13% on the session. Traders are reacting to news that oil prices fall after Trump says US-Iran talks in Qatar are going well. Natural gas climbed to $3.25, up 1.53% on the session. Traders are reacting to news that S&P 500, NASDAQ register best quarter since 2020 despite Iran war. Gold climbed to $4,187.30 per troy ounce, up 1.81% on the session. Safe haven demand is being supported by reports that safe havens aren't behaving like they used to. Here's what's changed. Let us give you our near-term view on Samsung. From a momentum perspective, the next key resistance for Samsung sits around $328,070. A sustained break above that level could attract further institutional buying. The main risk to the upside scenario is a shift in macro conditions or central bank tone. This is our analytical view, always do your own research. In the currency markets, Euro to US dollar is at 1.14, gaining 0.55% on the day. Pound sterling to US dollar is at 1.33, gaining 0.08% on the day. US dollar to Japanese yen is at 161.34, losing 0.74% on the day. The move in the dollar reflects reports that European stocks rally to cap best week since May. Markets wrap. Before we wrap up, here is your watch list for the sessions ahead. Keep a close eye on central bank speakers and rate commentary, and key economic data releases. Any one of these could be the catalyst that defines the next major directional move. Independent market coverage, no subscription fees, no paywalls. If this analysis saved you time and helped you think more clearly about the market, please like the video. It costs you nothing and it directly funds more content like this. Subscribe for daily coverage across indices, stocks, commodities, forex, and crypto. Tell us in the comments, what are you watching most closely right now? That wraps up today's coverage from MTRS_Market Pulse. This content is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own research. Stay disciplined, and we will see you tomorrow. That is your full global market briefing from MTRS_Market Pulse. Subscribe and turn on notifications for daily updates.